They say the river holds secrets too deep for man to uncover. But for an 8-year-old girl, it held the key to a life she could never escape. Amma was just a curious, playful child when she first followed her Aunt Serwa into the night. Aunt Serwa was the wealthiest woman in the village, admired and envied by all. One midnight, Amma woke to see her aunt tiptoeing out of the house, holding a clay pot filled with strange herbs. "Stay in bed," her aunt whispered, but Amma's curiosity burned too brightly. Quietly, she followed her through the shadowy forest, her bare feet brushing against the cold earth. When they reached the river, Amma hid behind a bush and watched. Aunt Serwa stepped into the water, her voice rising in a chant that seemed to echo with the ripples of the river. Amma squinted. Was something moving beneath the surface? Suddenly, her aunt froze. "Amma!" she shouted, her voice sharp as a dagger. "What are you doing here? Step back!" Amma, startled, stepped back, her eyes wide with confusion. "I thought you were crossing the river. I didn't want you to drown." She finished her ritual, then dragged Amma home, furious. That night, as Amma lay in bed, something strange happened. She dreamed of a little boy with glowing blue eyes. "I saw you at the river," he said in a voice like soft waves. "Don't be afraid. Let's be friends." Amma, too innocent to sense any danger, smiled in her sleep. Okay. Every night after, the boy returned to her dreams, playing with her, laughing with her, and slowly growing into a handsome young man. As time passed, their bond grew deeper, and the boy's visits became more intense. He began to speak to her of a life together. "Amma," he said one night, "we're getting married." When Amma woke up, she found a silver anklet beside her pillow. It sparkled like the stars. Feeling an odd sense of inevitability, she slipped it onto her ankle. In an instant, the boy from her dreams appeared in the room. He was no longer a dream, but real, his silver eyes gleaming with satisfaction. "We are one now," he whispered, his presence overwhelming. At first, life felt like a fairy tale. Amma's fortunes soared, her farm flourished, her business prospered, and everything she touched turned to gold. But there were rules. She must never remove the anklet, and no man must ever touch it. One day, a young suitor named Kwesi fell for her charm. As they walked together, he playfully reached for her anklet. The moment his fingers brushed it, the spirit appeared, his blue eyes blazing with anger. "She's mine!" he roared, and Kwesi collapsed, lifeless. No man dared approach Amma again. She became a recluse, feared by all. Amma pleaded with the spirit to release her, but his hold only tightened. Her life became a gilded cage, full of riches, but hollow and empty. As years passed, her beauty faded, and the loneliness grew unbearable. At 45, Amma returned to the river where it all began. Standing at the water's edge, she screamed, "Release me! I never asked for this." The spirit rose from the depths, his presence dark and suffocating. "You're mine forever," he said. But Amma had prepared for this day. She held a talisman from a priest, and as she raised it, the spirit screamed. The river churned violently, pulling him back into the depths. The anklet on her ankle shattered, and Amma was free. Her wealth was gone, her youth had faded, but her spirit was unbroken. Amma walked away from the river, ready to start anew, free at last. Not every gift is a blessing, and not every bond is meant to last. Be cautious of what you accept, for some gifts come with chains too heavy to bear. Follow and like for more videos.